Manchester City against Chelsea and Guardiola against Sarri, as the Blues go into one of, if not the toughest game of the campaign. We've beaten them before the season, but can we do that again, away from home, when Aguero and De Bruyne are not injured? Chelsea, the entire team, but especially our best players, have to work their socks off and be at their very best for us to get something from this game. To find out everything you need to know ahead of the game about both teams, tactics, formations, lineups, injury news, etc., be sure to watch all of this preview. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Manchester City vs Chelsea game taking place on Sunday afternoon at 4 PM UK time, obviously at the Etihad Stadium. And to be honest, I'm very nervous but also very excited about the game. Of course, this is the preview. We've also uploaded an oppositions analysis and oppositions preview by Manchester City fan Booby on the channel already yesterday, so please do go check that out if you haven't seen it already, just to have basically the opinion of a Manchester City fan ahead of the game. So click the card up there if you want to watch that. And of course, there will be a review on Sunday, there will be fan cams, there will be a vlog, all sorts of content surrounding the game, as there is for every game. So, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to 100% Chelsea. And also, let's see whether we can hit 400 or more likes on this video. That would be massively appreciated. So please be sure to smash that like button down below. But now, enough waffling, and now let's get straight into the preview. And obviously, as usual, starting it off by speaking about our opposition. And that, of course, is Manchester City. And City actually went top of the league again in midweek after beating Everton 2-0 on Wednesday. But they have now played a game more than everyone, in the league except, themselves and obviously Everton. Nonetheless, though, they are top with 62 points from 26 games, level on points with Liverpool, but ahead of them on goal difference. Winning 20 games of their 26, like I say, drawing 2 and losing 4 with a goal difference of obviously plus 48. Scoring a ridiculous 68 goals and conceding 20, which is the second best, second least amount of goals conceded in the league so far. But what's there to say about Man City really? Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world, arguably at least. The man comes up with some crazy things at times. They have the best squad in the league, in my opinion, undoubtedly. Their pressing is ridiculous. The way they use the wings and their movement is crazy. Their pace and intensity is mad. Plus, they've scored, I think, 43 goals in 13 home games, if I'm not mistaken. And unlike the last time we played them, they also have both Sergio Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne fit and available. When against us at Stamford Bridge, they started Raheem Sterling down the middle of their front three, which obviously is quite a bit different, from starting Aguero as they're obviously one of the best strikers, if not the best striker in the league, compared to Raheem Sterling, who's a winger, starting him up front. It is a big difference. So it is certainly safe to say that playing them at the Etihad with only Kompany and Benjamin Mendy out injured will be a whole lot more difficult than it was at Stamford Bridge a few months ago. So to get into some intricacies about Pep Guardiola, because I don't think everyone knows about this, he has some very interesting thinking as to how to play against which formations. So obviously that is defensively speaking. Going forward, he and they do their own thing. They don't basically adapt to anyone when they, think about going forward. But defensively, against the 4-3-3 formation, for example, he plays in kind of a 4-4-2 as a defensive formation. 4 defenders against 3 attackers. 4 midfielders against 3 midfielders, plus 2 strikers to press their defenders. So basically always tries to outnumber the opposition in a certain part of the pitch, whether that's, in their defence and the opponent attacking basically, or in midfield. Now against Arsenal last weekend, who they beat 3-1, City officially lined up in a 4-3-3 formation again. But against Arsenal's 3-4-3, defensively, Man City kind of lined up in a 4-5-1, if you will. 4 defenders against 3 attackers, 5 midfielders against 4 midfielders, and then the 1 striker to press the 3 defenders. While when going forward, Fernandinho, who started as the centre-back, stepped up the field, stepped up higher up the pitch, if you will, and acted as a holding midfielder, dictating the play from deep. So, when I say Guardiola comes up with crazy things, he really does. So almost certainly, no matter what their lineup might tell you ahead of the game on Sunday, like at the Bridge when it was officially a 4-3-3, defensively they will, like I say, almost certainly kind of be shaped in some sort of a 4-4-2. You can dislike Pep Guardiola all you want. I don't like him myself, but you have to respect the genius of the man. To be honest, there's no real point running through their danger man in all honesty. All of their players are dangerous. Aguero, obviously ridiculous goal scoring, especially against top 6 teams. I think it's 40 goals in 60 or 63 games against top 6 teams. So that's obviously a ridiculous stat. Then you have Sterling, Sane, both Silvas, Bernardo and David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, obviously, Gundogan, Fernandinho, Walker, etc. It doesn't matter who plays, especially their attacking players, they will be dangerous. But I do believe that defensively, once you beat their press, you find spaces and can exploit their defence, just like we did at Stamford Bridge. To be honest, that's really it about Man City. And now let's get into Maurizio Sarri's pre-match press conference. On team news, Sarri said that we have a few little problems. Hudson-Odoi had a fever, but only for a day. And then yesterday, Gareth Bale had a small problem with his back. But ahead of the last 2 training sessions, obviously before the game, because, it's Friday and we play the game on Sunday, the boss does think that every player will be available unless, obviously, there is any new injuries that, happen this afternoon or tomorrow, basically. He also basically just said a lot of good things about Guardiola and how, in his opinion, Man City aren't just the best team in England, but also in Europe. We all know that he said that before. And then he also was asked about and commented on a 2-month-old interview by Eden Hazard, and Hazard saying that he's basically made his decision on whether he'll leave or not. But that interview, like I say, was 2 months old, or it is 2 months old, but it only came out recently. Now, obviously, Sarri was asked about it, like I say, and Sarri simply said that he only speaks to Hazard about what happens on the pitch, not about whether he'll leave or not. But actually declared Hazard as the best player in Europe, which certainly isn't true because, well, Messi. But either way, Cesc Fabregas also gave an interesting comment on the Hazard situation, saying that if he actually already made his decision, whether that's now or 2 months ago, that decision is staying at Chelsea and not going anywhere. Don't know why exactly he's saying that, but that's what he did say. Make of it what you will. In my opinion, there's not much point talking about it. I just think we have to wait and see what happens in the next few months. Now, in a previous win over Man City this season, Sarri said that we were actually lucky in a sense of when we scored our first goal, and that was in a difficult moment for us. Probably deserved to win in the second half, he said, and defended very well throughout the game, with Man City only really having 3 goal-scoring opportunities. But in the first half, we did get a bit lucky, he said. Now, obviously, he said we'll have to do the same again. Defend very well. Be very quick to recover balls, because on lost balls they are able to press extremely well and it's very difficult to get around that. But if we can get around it, Sarri thinks we'll find spaces. But that was it from the press conference, and now getting to Chelsea and talking about Chelsea. Now, exactly like Sarri said, we have to defend very well. Everyone knows that. I mean, we have to do a ridiculous amount of running defensively off the ball as well as offensively off the ball just to get around their press. Plus the passing, decision making and the finishing has to be on point. I mean, if we want to get anything from this game, we have to be clinical in every aspect of the game, not just in front of goal. Lineup wise, I think it's a tricky one, but the same positions, as always really, are kind of set in stone. Kepa, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, David Luiz, Jorginho, N'Golo Kanté, Hazard and also Gonzalo Higuain, they will all start. I can basically guarantee that. But whether to start, for example, Alonso or Emerson at left back is a more difficult question. And please hear me out on that before you go slate me in the comments down below, because you all want Emerson to start. Because Emerson is a lot quicker, which would be very helpful, of course. We all know that. At the same time, though, I think Emerson's positioning is poor. Alonso is out of position a lot as well, but mostly because he doesn't track back in time. And against Manchester City, I don't think he would bomb forward as much as he does against other teams. So with that, obviously, he would be in position a lot more. What's usually an advantage for Alonso, in Maurizio Sarri's eyes at least, is his height. And that's kind of the only weak point that Man City have, a lack of height and a lack of physicality. Now the question though is, do we want to exploit that by having more of it and play Alonso? Or would we rather have Emerson's pace and try to beat them at their own game? Now for me, they could both be the right and the wrong decision for that game, in all honesty. I mean, it's going to be one of them hindsight is a beautiful thing ones, if you get me. Like, I think Sarri will pick Alonso, but that shout can be made for both of them. But I don't think it's as clear as in other games that, at least for me, it should be Emerson. I don't think that's as clear as it would be against a lesser team. On the right wing then, I would pick Willian over Pedro. It's not going to be Hudson-Odoi, let's be honest. But while Pedro is better in the final third than Willian, we will have to break with pace at times in the game. We just have to. That's just what it is against Man City. And Willian is, first of all, a lot quicker than Pedro and can also carry the ball forward a lot better. Basically, all we need to do is kind of drill it into Willian's head to look for Higuain and Hazard rather than shooting from stupid positions. And then, I think Willian can actually do a good job for us in this game. But the left centre midfield spot is the really difficult one. Again, I've said it plenty of times before and I keep saying it, I would like to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek start in that position. Is he fit enough now, obviously after his back injury? I mean, I would like to think so after we haven't had a midweek game and obviously he's been kind of on the way back for a few weeks now. I keep saying that as well. I think he's our best option in that left centre midfield position. I mean, I just think he provides the most out of the three, basically the most complete package in that position compared to Kovacic and Ross Barkley. I mean, he provides more going forward than both of them. He can pass the ball. He's quick, basically in his decision making and basically with running. He's strong. He runs his socks off. He works really hard as well, both off the ball and on the ball. And, that's why I think it should be him. But if it's not him, and if it's between Kovacic and Ross Barkley, I would rather Kovacic, actually. Even though Barkley had a good game against Huddersfield, we're not going to pin City in their third much, if at all. That's just not what you do against Man City, which is when the main criticism of Kovacic of not helping the team attack enough comes into play. But his passing and decision-making is probably the best of the three of himself, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek and Barkley. So to get around City's press, that's exactly what we need. Quick passing, smooth passing, And obviously, just the decision making has to be quick as well. So I think Kovacic is the most likely to start there on Sunday. So the team that I think Mauricio Sarri will pick, obviously in a 4-3-3 formation, as always, Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso as the two fullbacks, then a centre-back partnership of Antonio Rudiger and David Luiz, and midfield three of Jorginho, N'Golo Conte and Matteo Kovacic, like I say, and then a front three of Eden Hazard on the left, Willian on the right, and obviously Gonzalo Higuain up front. Now, I already spoke about what we have to do in my opinion. One thing that could and will be an advantage for us is City having played obviously on Wednesday. Well, we had the week off. Now, it won't be the exact same players that played against Everton for them, but a lot of them will stay in the team. Now, if we can hold on to a draw or just one goal down until late in the game, I think we can get something from this. Simply because for the last 20 minutes or so, we should be fresher and sharper. Now, my score prediction is actually going to be a draw. Either a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw. I think that's both slightly hopeful and realistic thinking. Now, at the Etihad, I'd be more than happy to take a draw. I mean, I think we all would be. Of course, a win would be huge in our fight for top 4, but it's still Man City we're playing. So I think we'd all have to kind of be happy with getting a draw away at Man City. Also, to get a draw in this game on Sunday and then beat them in the cup final, I mean, I'd be very much, I'd be very happy with that in all honesty. But, at the end of the day, all I can say really is fight and run your socks off, lads. Do what Sarri tells you to do. Be clinical when we do create chances, which I'm confident that we will do. And maybe we can get something from this. But to be honest, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts ahead of the game down in the comment section below. Your score predictions, your predicted lineups, anything else you kind of expect from the game. Let me know all of it down in the comment section below. Like I said in the beginning, let's see whether we can hit 400 or more likes in this video. That would be massively appreciated. So please do be sure to smash that like button down below. Of course, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Laos1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, and also the links to both of them are down in the description below. So if you could follow me over there, basically I'd love you for it. And obviously this is YouTube, so if you haven't already, please do be sure to subscribe to 100% Chelsea for all content surrounding Chelsea Football Club. All content you can kind of wish for surrounding Chelsea, you will get it over here. So please do subscribe. And if you haven't done that either, basically don't forget to hit the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads so you don't miss any of our future videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. Very much looking forward to Sunday, and I'll see you next time.